Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. M.K. Stalin, Tamilnadu Chief Minister's son, Udhayanidhi Stalin, made a statement yesterday. In the statement, he said that Sanatana Dharma should be eliminated because Sanatana Dharma goes against the concept of social justice. Let's deep dive into this. Let's get right into the show. Okay, so let us first understand what he said, what Udhayanidhi Stalin said. Let's first understand that, and let's first understand it theoretically. ठीक है ना? What he said, why he said, what does he believe instead. So let's understand that. Then let's understand its practical ramification of what he said. How is that going to make, what difference will that make? So let's understand that. And then let us sit and draw our own conclusions. ठीक है ना? So that's the way I would want to go with this particular topic. So first let's understand what he said. What he said was that in his view that Sanatana Dharma is incompatible with the concept of social justice and should be eliminated. He further went on to say that Sanatana Dharma is like malaria and dengue, and so it must be eradicated and not opposed. The young minister contended that the concept, that is Sanatana Dharma concept, is inherently regressive and it perpetuates division amongst people based on caste and gender and fundamentally contradicts the principle of equality and social justice. This is what he said. Acha, so now, since we know what he said, let us try and understand why he said what he said. Now, Udhayanidhi Stalin belongs to a party called Dravida Munnetra Kadagam, party that came into existence based on the Dravidian movement. Dravidian movement was initiated by a man called Periyar. Now, Periyar, his entire name is Erode Venkata Ramaswamy Periyar, was born in 1879 in what was then called as Madras Presidency to a Kannada businessman, and later he joined his father's business. As time progressed, he joined Congress in 1919 but left Congress. He left Congress because he believed Congress was dominated by Brahmins then. His anger at the Brahminical society as Brahmins started from then. At least it got recorded since then. He started the self-respect movement aimed to removing social injustice and inequality. He enforced marriages to be performed without priest and religious rites. He propagated need of birth control and rallied for support to abolish Devadasi system and child marriages. Earlier on, when he started his movement, he started it with trying to bring about a lot of social reforms in Hinduism. That's how he started his movement, and then it went on to be an anti-Brahman movement as it progressed. He believed in the idea of Tamil saint Tiruvalluvar and hence held faith in the idea of single formless God. He found conversion to Islam and Christianity as a way for lower caste to escape Brahmin oppression, as he thought both these religions created better societies than Hinduism. Periyar was also against Mahatma Gandhi because he saw Gandhi not totally rejecting Brahminical ideas and practices. Now please understand the flow of Periyar. Periyar had initially, he moved out of Congress because he thought he was against Brahmins. He thought that he was against the Brahminical society. He thought Congress was dominated by Brahmins. He went on, he started his activism by wanting to create social reforms in Hinduism, which included things like, stopping child marriages, birth control for women, and so on and so forth. But that went on to be against the Brahminical rule, which he thought Brahmins were oppressing the society. And that slowly but steadily went on to be an anti-Hindu movement. So from being anti-Brahman To my understanding, I could be wrong in this, but to my understanding, from being anti-Brahman, he went on to be an anti-Hindu, wherein he believed that a Christian way of life or a Muslim way of life could give you better society. This is what Periyar believed. This is the same Periyar that created this movement in 1924 that demanded entries for Dalit in temples in Kerala. He was known for most for his self-respect movement that aimed, which I told you, that aimed at generating pride for lower caste. His campaign against imposition of Hindi in Tamil Nadu in the origin and all anti-Hindi movements later on in South India. He found Hindi a tool of Brahminical domination of Tamil Nadu and so on and so forth. So from there on, from 1924, he had a lot of movements that he professed he propagated in Tamil Nadu and in South. So and his movement started gathering. The gamut of his movement was becoming larger, from anti-Brahman to anti-Hindu to anti-Hindi and so on and so forth. Now, this is what the spectrum of his activism was. Now, this gave birth to something which is called as Dravidian nationalism. Dravidian nationalism basically is a movement, like I told you, which was led by Ramaswamy Periyar, who demanded an independent Dravidian state, which included all four Dravidian speaking states in South India, which is Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Those days there were no Andhra and Telangana, so all those four states. The movement failed because while he got a fairly good support in Tamil Nadu, the other South Indian state, he didn't get support. Support Nemila. He didn't get that support for a separate state. So that he didn't get. This is broadly what Periyar was, and this is broadly what Dravidian was. Now, before I go to my next topic, let me tell you, Dravidian nationalism was thus based in three ideologies. The basic ideology that Dravidian nationalism was based on was dismantling of Brahmin hegemony, revitalization of Dravidian language, which included Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Tamil, social reforms by abolishing of existing caste system, religious practicing and recasting women's equal position in the society. This is what the Dravidian movement was based on. This is what Dravidian ideology is. To sum up Periyar, I will read out a poetry that Periyar had written. I will read it out in English, obviously, where he said that there is no God. There is no God. There is no God at all. He who invented God is a fool. He who propagates God is a scoundrel. He who worships God is a barbarian. This sums up what Periyar thought. Okay. Now, let us go back to my editorial. Udhayanidhi Stalin founded his father, grandfather, and so on and so forth, founded his ideology on this particular principle. So what he stood there and spoke was based on this principle, based on Periyar's principle, based on Periyar's belief, Periyar's teaching. This is what he spoke there. Now, let's go. We understood the theory. We understood why he said what he said, or what he was thinking and what made him say what he said and all that. We understood that. Now, let us understand the ramification of what he said. Now, I am going to stick to politics and I am going to stick to practical politics. Okay. Now, his statement that Sanatana Dharma is like malaria, dengue and it should be eradicated and not opposed. This particular statement went against the basis of what India Alliance was formed. If you remember, a couple of days back, I had told you, in fact, I had gone for that press conference, I came and told you that the line was beautiful. Judega Bharat, to jeetega India. This was their line. And I told you it's a fabulous line. Fabulous line. You see, Judega Bharat is not just about Hindu Muslims or Hindu Christians. Judega Bharat is about everybody, isn't it? By saying that Sanatana Dharma is like malaria, is this how he is going to do Judega Bharat? So the basic concept of India Alliance was shaken. Now, Stalin, incidentally, is a very important player, important leader in the India Alliance scenario. He is a very important leader. So somebody like Udhayanidhi Stalin coming and making this statement at this particular point in time, at this juncture, is definitely going to harm the larger concept of India alliance. This is what I believe. Number one. Number two, because you belong to a political party that needs to abuse Sanatana Dharma, if that is what you are going to do, then there is no difference between DMK and a communal party. There is absolutely no difference. Right? If it is your ideology to abuse a religion, and that is where how you are going to survive, that is your survival strategy, that is your gaining popularity strategy, then what is the difference between you and a communal party? Then there is no difference between you and a communal party. And with this statement, I think he did exactly that. So now I don't see much of a difference. So that's my point number two. My point number three, and a point that I had made in my Saturday's editorial too. This is dangerous for India alliance, and what is most important for India alliance to sit today and do is call everybody again, this time for a serious meeting rather than just saying hi, hello, and then next day everybody flying back. A serious meeting where they say, listen, this is what our communication strategy is going to be. You are not aligned even in the communication. One person is after Adani, the other person is after Sanatana Dharma. Where is your strategy going? Where is your communication strategy going? What are you aiming at? Who is your enemy? So, from a sheer communication point of view, like I told you, from sheer political point of view, let me tell you, I think if they don't sit together, they don't plan a focused communication strategy, I think this India alliance will go haywire and will go all over the place. Whatever the reasons are, if you see NDA, at least the NDA parties, maybe they're completely overpowered by BJP and completely under the influence of BJP. Maybe that could be the reason, but whatever the reasons are, you won't find an NDA party going all over and making statements which are radically different to what the BJP believes. And same way, I don't think in India, you should have parties going and making their own statements, making their own enemies, making their own strategies, making their own issues. It can't work that way, can it? So this is my point of view. So 3 points that I would want to derive out of this particular statement that Udhayanidhi Stalin made. And let me know what you think. A lot of you may agree to me, a lot of you may not, which I understand. So please let me know what you think, and please write your comments below, and I'll wait for that. And till I see you next time, that's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.